All right, welcome back, Prospect Live viewers and listeners. We're back with another 2021 MLB draft interview. This is a little bit different. This is a post-game interview, I believe, our first post-game interview. One of my favorite players in the class, somebody I've been ranting and raving about behind the scenes, I think, for the last 3 days to anybody that would listen. That is Ryan Bliss of Auburn University. Ryan, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Man, we're excited. We've been kind of pounding the table for you for a while. I got the burnt orange going on here in the background for a little War Eagle. I want to jump right into your game, man. I mean, you're off to a hot start. You've got a couple of bombs here early on. Can you kind of describe to the viewer, to the listener, who Ryan Bliss is on the baseball field?
Yeah, I feel like first off, I'm gonna be the same person, every time you watch me play. Bring the same energy to the field. Every day I'm not going to be, a different player. I'm always going to have a smile on my face. That's the first thing. And I feel like my game has evolved over the years. It's progressed. My freshman year, I guess you could say more of, the slap and go hitter. I was just trying to find my swing. Get accustomed to the league. And as I've gotten older and understand the game more, I've been able to, transform my swing into more of a average as well, but I still have the ability to put balls out, and I've been working on that really a lot, and so that's my game. And on the defensive side, I'm just gonna make every play.
Can't argue with that. Yeah, and a couple things there. I got caught with the mic mute. That's like the negative points to my broadcaster stature. But yeah, I know, man. Come on now. But over the last couple of weeks, obviously there's been some highlights. Big defensive play actually last week behind Richard Fitz on Saturday. Probably one of the web gems of the day. But I'm gonna stay with the hitting side of things. I've been digging into your numbers a little bit on the back end, and one of the things I've been most impressed by are what your numbers are versus, I don't even know if you realize this, versus 95 mile per hour plus fastballs. You're like a 500 hitter, and it's like a relatively large sample size. Like. It's like 40 pitches. So, and yeah, it was one of the things that stood out. And I'm a big fan of your game. I think, you definitely sort of touched on sort of the power progressing. I think you even see it in some of your hard hits and your fly balls over the last couple of years. But do you realize how good you are against velocity? And if so, is there anything in particular that allows you to be so successful?
That's the first time I've actually heard that stat. Now that you said it, it's pretty interesting. Seeing velo to me, just basically all I'm thinking about is just trying to get my barrel there. Seeing velo, you don't really have that much time to think. At that point, you're literally just playing baseball. So for me, if like I said, 95 plus, if I know if I can just get my barrel there and put a good swing on, the ball's gonna do, whatever it does. So. That's really, I'm just trying to relax. If he's coming fast, I'm going to let him, his power and, his ball do most of the work. I'm just trying to get a clean, efficient swing off on, and, I'm not going to try to do too much.
That's a very mature approach. Definitely a very mature approach against velo. I wanted to ask, we have seen your swing kind of develop here over the last 3 years. You've gotten stronger, certainly gotten a little bit more into your pull side. I want to know how have we gone from where you were at 18 years old to where you are today? I mean, do you kind of model your swing after anyone? What's your thought process in the box? Like, how are you as a hitter?
Yeah, like I said, from me being 18 to me being 21 now, like I said, a lot of it has gone into the weight room. I've been working hard to get in the weight room and really put on some pounds and actually get involved in my swing. But just one swing that I watched that helped me was Mookie Betts. Not the biggest guy in the league. I mean, obviously, but he's putting up 30 home runs a season. So I'm like, hey, what is he doing that that lets him be so efficient with his swing? So seeing how he used his lower half, really translated for me using my swing. And I'm not the biggest guy. I mean, it's not surprising to anybody. So I gotta learn how to use my whole body, use all my my energy. And I've been transforming my swing, making my swing better over the years, and I've been able to get to the full style a lot more.
So besides adding your man strength and sort of trying to model yourself after Betts, and look at some of these guys that obviously get a lot of good leverage and just sort of ground force from their swing in general. But have you utilized any tech to follow that, or has it been all sort of feel and just sort of trial and error and adjustment?
Uh, most of it has been trial and error. I really used my coach from travel ball in 16U, Wes Reinders. I worked with him in the off season, and then he really helped me feel what I wanted to feel. Like I would see it, I would see Mookie do it, and I would like read it, but I couldn't feel it. I just couldn't do it. I'm more of a visual learner, like actually doing it. And he understood everything. He understood what I was trying to get at. And when I went up to him, thank you, Wes Reinders, the Georgia Bombers. Shout out to him. He really helped me feel my swing, and I was able to learn how to keep my hands to the zone longer, and that's helped me create the backspin that I wanted. And for me to finally understand, hey, bat through the zone longer, have the same like a certain type of swing path, that really didn't register until this off season. Now it's been pretty good.
So you mentioned that you're not the biggest guy in the world, and I'd be remiss not to bring it up. You're listed at 5'9", 165. Tell us a little bit about kind of having to fight off that small hitter mentality that you get from fans, that you get from scouts. Like, oh, he's not going to be able to impact the ball because he's not big enough. I mean, as you said, it's not the dog in the fight; it's the fight in the dog. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, this is kind of something now that I've been kind of dealing with since travel ball, summer ball, and I've always been not the biggest guy on the team, but that's kind of put a chip on my shoulder. I want to show everybody that that I can play this game with guys that are not the same size as me, but I don't try to make that a disadvantage or anything. I actually think I can play with whoever's on the field. I just go out there and play the game hard and let my skills take over and just show you that I deserve to be here.
Well, let's we'll move away from sort of the specific on you sort of questions. Always interested to sort of hear opponent wise, like who are some of the best arms or the toughest arms that you face? Because you've obviously been in a top conference, you play in big tournaments, you're in the Cape, so you've seen a lot of quality.
Mm-hmm. Naturally, Kumar Rocker faced him my freshman year. He was really good. I mean, of course, but Garrett, I forgot his last name. It was a Friday night guy for Tennessee. 2 years ago, was second round. He was really good. I can't remember his last name. Yeah, that's it. He was really good. He was, of course, he's electric. Lefty. He was one that gave me a lot of troubles. That weekend I went like 0 for 15. I didn't get hit that single weekend against Tennessee. So those two have been the hardest pitchers, toughest pitchers I faced. Which and like I said, it's just only helped my game. I learned from that, learned from those ABs, and just keep moving.
Listen, man, if you're going and having your worst days against top 10 picks, you're all right.
That's all
you're hitting 500 over 95 plus. Like, you're doing something right against Velo. So
yeah, man. I've also seen some hard hits against Emerson Hancock, against oh man, who's the kid that was pitching? Ian Seymour was one down the Cape. You battled him up. I think you homered off of Seymour down the Cape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's like another 4 or 5 guys. JT Ginn, I think you had some nice. You had a double off of him. Mm-hmm. So you've had success off some of the big names. Yeah,
like I said, if there's 2 of them just give me a problem and the rest of them don't, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job there. So,
if 2 of them give you trouble, you'll hit 800. You'll be fine.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I want to lock in a little bit about your defense, because I don't think you get enough credit for how good your feet are, how good your hands are. I mean, you've got electric actions on the dirt. Has that always been a priority for you, and how much pride do you take in sticking at shortstop?
Yeah, that's always my defense has always been something I hang my hat on. It kind of makes who I am today as a player. And each day I come out there and I have the same defensive routine just to get my feet going. As I actually stole it from Francisco Lindor. My thing, the best is doing it. Why can't you do it and be the best? So I use the same fielding routine he does every day. And it's always something that I took pride in. And shortstop, is where I've played all my career. But seeing that I could play second my freshman year, I'm not too picky at either position. I feel like I'm an up the middle type of player in the infield. So I feel I can be elite at the next level of the eating position.
Well, I'll jump in here a little bit, sort of stay on some of the team goals, that sort of thing. Interested in just sort of what your goals are, personally this year, and then obviously sort of wrapping that into, the goals with Auburn, which I'm sure are, go to College World Series, win the whole thing. But what are your sort of personal goals for 2021?
Yeah, one goal is to play the whole season. I had a season cut off from me, so I kind of lost that and it kind of hurt. But we started up to a good start, so that's probably one of the goals. But personally, a big thing for me is I want to keep my walks more than my strikeouts. I feel like if I can cut down the strikeouts, that just equals to me being on base more. That equals more hits. That just does a lot better things for you. So, that's the goal, and I'm shooting for 80 hits. That's a big thing for me. I love getting on base. I love getting hits, and I feel like if I work hard enough, I can get there. To tie it all into the team. Of course, you want to go to Omaha. That's cliche, but for me, I want to host. I want to bring a regional or super regional to Auburn. It's been a while since Auburn has hosted a regional, so I want to work hard for that, and hopefully the team can host and go to Omaha.
Nice, that's a good goal. I really like the plate discipline goals. I like the approach goals because I don't know, that for me that just does it. That's a mature hitter. That's a mature player. You're not looking out there to hit bombs. You're hitting bombs, but that comes by way of the discipline. So I appreciate that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously the team goals are huge. You've, I'm sure, set personal goals for yourself for the year. Over the winter, I'm sure you were inundated with, different introductions and calls with pro scouts, kind of introducing yourself to that world. Can you kind of give us an idea of, maybe what some of the more unique questions were that you received in some of those interviews?
Yeah, it was a lot of interviews this winter. Some of the crazy questions you would get would be, what would you do if you weren't playing baseball, or what makes you who you are today, or what did quarantine teach you? Little stuff like that really, really made you think as a, not even just as a person, but as a ball player. Like, what did quarantine do for you? For me personally, it taught me that baseball can be taken away from you anytime. So you play the game as hard as you can, and respect the game. So little stuff like that. And another question would be, where do you see yourself in the next level? Do you see yourself, what position basically? So those questions were really tough for me personally. I just want to be on the field.
Good answer. Good answer. Well, I guess let me piggyback that with a second question here, kind of for the next level. Is there something specific that you might be looking for in, who drafts you? Maybe a quality about the organization or a philosophy about the organization that kind of really fits to your development and who you are as a person?
Question. I don't really know. I guess what I'm looking for in an organization is development. I just want to get better each and every day. So, just an organization that's that's helped me develop and get to the next level as quick as possible. That's pretty much the thing that I would be looking for in an organization like that.
All right. I guess this is the final question I probably have. In terms of, you've played obviously with a ton of talented players. Who do you feel the most talented guys you play with are?
Most talented guys I've played with. Gage Workman, played with him up at Cape. He's a really excellent player. He was really good, swinging from both sides. He's an athletic kid. He's really good. A real sleeper that people don't know about that I would say is Jared Hart. He's a center fielder at Tulane. I mean, that guy has some serious tools. He can fly, he can hit. I mean, I've seen him track balls down like crazy. He's really good. From Auburn, of course, Tanner Burns. He was a great teammate, great pitcher. Then you got Will Holland. He was great. He was great for me because he taught me how to play the game. He taught me how it was to be an All-American at the shortstop position. So I credited him to a lot of my development. He helped me out a lot, and I thank him for that.
All good players, man.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, Ralph, I don't have any other questions. Ryan, you got any questions for us?
Thank you for the podcast, and
yeah, man, absolutely.
just keep doing you guys' thing. I love you guys.
Well,
Yeah, man,
you
thanks
do
a
the
lot,
same,
Ryan.
man. Keep impressing on the field. Hit another bomb tomorrow. That's 2 and 4 games. And again, I know I said this off the air, but I apologize that you were not in the lineup when your team scored like 48 runs last night.
Yeah, no, I wasn't that, but
I went and checked it. And I was like, 33 runs. All right, here we go. And then I was like,
What did Bliss do?
yeah. I was sitting there
It happens, man. A win is a win.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all right. You got it back in the first couple at bats tonight.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm catching up to him.
You'll get yours, man.
All
right, Ryan.
Have a good night and get a W tomorrow, man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.